Welcome back, students, in the second video of the first chapter. Before we proceed further, let me memorize the points which we have discussed in the very first video. Dear students, in the first video we studied about what is constitution, why does a country needs a constitution, and key features of the Indian constitution. Dear students, let me memorize all those points which we discussed in the first video. In first video we discussed the key features of the Indian constitution. The first feature which we have read in the first video is federalism. As I told you in the beginning, federalism is the form of government where one or more than one level of the government is there. Like in India we have central government, second we have state government, and third is known as local government, which is called Panchayati Raj system. It is known as Panchayati Raj system also. This is the very first feature of the Indian constitution. Dear students, the second feature of the Indian constitution is, as you have studied, parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government. In parliamentary form of government, we have right to choose our representatives, and these representatives are chosen by us. Even it gives us rights, universal adult franchise. All the people, they can poll their vote and they themselves can contest elections too. Third one, the third feature of the Indian constitution is separation of powers. The separation of powers. My dear students, in this separation of powers, there are three organs are there of the government. What are these three organs? These are known as the legislature, the judiciary, second one is the executive, and the third one is known as the judiciary. My dear students, legislature, the representatives which are chosen by us are considered as legislature. The executive, a group of small people who are responsible for implementing these rules, is known as the executive, and third one is known as the judiciary. Dear students, district courts, high courts, and all the supreme courts, we have one highest apex level. Only Supreme Court is the highest authority of courts in India. This entire system is referred as the judiciary. They can check the power of each other. That is why it is known as checks and balances system in the Indian constitution. Dear students, the fourth feature of the Indian constitution is, which we have discussed even in the very first video also, this is known as the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights. My dear students, there are 6 fundamental rights are there in the Indian constitution. These are known as conscience of the Indian Constitution. We will discuss later about this feature of the Indian Constitution. Now let us move to the next feature of the Indian Constitution. This is known as secularism. What does it mean? It means that in India, India is a secular state. It do not have its official religion. We don't have any religion in India. Different religions are there, but government of India does not promote any of the religion. All the religions are given equal importance. Our neighboring country, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and many more countries are there in the world which they have their own religions. But in India, we do not have so. Dear students, come back to the fourth feature of the Indian Constitution. This is fundamental rights. Now, let us discuss about all the fundamental rights one by one. Dear students, the very first fundamental right of the Indian Constitution is right to equality. Right to equality. Second one is known as right to freedom. Right to freedom. Third one is known as right to freedom of religion. Fourth is known as, what do we call it? We call it right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. And fifth one is known as cultural and educational right. Cultural and educational right. Sixth fundamental right, which is very much important, which is very necessary, is known as right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies. These are 6 fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution. Let me throw lights on them. First one is right to equality. Dear students, in Indian Constitution, all the people are equal before the law. Law is meant for all the people in the same way. Even Prime Minister of India to a common citizen, everyone is same in front of this law. No one is discriminated on the basis of caste, religion, sex. No discrimination takes place. Dear students, let me tell you one thing about right to equality. Few years back, the ex-Prime Minister of India had to go to court because of cheating. He was called in the court. He had to go in the court several times as the process ended. This shows that whoever person is there, either he is farmer or laborer or the Prime Minister, everyone is treated in the same way. According to this system, everyone has access to go to public places like hotels, playgrounds, anywhere, wherever they want. So this is first fundamental right, right to equality. Now let us move to the second fundamental right. This is known as right to freedom. Dear students, in India we have right to freedom, right to express our opinion, right to express our views. These rights are given in the Indian Constitution. My dear students, what do we see in the second fundamental right? People can reside in any part of the country. Whatever profession they want to adopt, they can. This freedom is given in India as per the fundamental rights. If you want to practice any of the occupation, any profession, you are free to do that. Now let us move to the third one, right to freedom of religion. Dear students, religious freedom is given in Indian Constitution. Whatever religion you can practice, if you want to be Hindu, if you want to be Sikh, if you want to be a Buddha, or if you want to be Jain, it is your choice. Whatever religion you want, you can choose. Dear students, what do we see in India as per the fundamental rights? A person who does not believe in any of the religion, this kind of system is also meant in our India. India is a secular state. So these things shows that religious freedom is given to all the persons in India as per their desire. Whichever religion they like to practice, they are free to do. Now, let us move to the fourth fundamental right of the Indian Constitution. This is known as right against exploitation. This fundamental right is very essential in India. Dear students, in India, it is prohibited human trafficking, forced labor, begar. This practice is completely banned in India. Any person or any child who is below the age of 14 cannot be kept under working in any factory, any hotel, any dhaba. If it is found so, action will be taken by the government. Human trafficking, it means selling of human being, buying of human being, especially women, in the illegal way, for illegal purposes. This is also banned in the Indian Constitution. Dear students, as per right against exploitation, no person can be kept as beggar, laborer. This system completely has been banned by the Constitution of India. My dear students, now let us move to the fifth fundamental right of the Indian Constitution. This is known as cultural and educational rights. What does it mean? Cultural and educational right means in India we have majority, minority. The groups, the religions which are in minority, they are given right for cultural, educational. It means they can set up their educational institutions. You might have seen in India, many madrasas are there. For what? For the promotion of educational purposes. Many Christian schools are there in India for the promotion of Christianity. Many Gurukul systems are there in India which is promoting especially for Hindu religion. So dear students, they can set up their educational institutions. The Constitution of India makes sure that the people who are in the minority should not be harassed by majority, should not be tortured by majority. Means for their protection, for the protection of minorities, these cultural and educational rights are given. We had talked about educational, now let us come to know about cultural also. Dear students, in India is a multicultural country. In India we have different cultures, different languages. Suppose if a person is there who speaks Malayali language, when he is in Kerala, he is in majority. When he moves to the another state of India, suppose Haryana, Punjab, Bihar or Jammu and Kashmir, he is in minority. So it means a protection is given to him. For that purpose, the cultural and educational right is meant. Now, let us move to the sixth fundamental right, which is known as right to constitutional remedies. My dear students, this fundamental right is one of the most important fundamental right in the Indian Constitution. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, he described this fundamental right as heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, what did he say? इस फंडामेंटल राइट को हृदय और आत्मा कहा गया है डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर के द्वारा. My dear students, if you feels that your fundamental rights have been violated by your fellow beings, by an institution, by government, then you can directly approach to the High Court or even Supreme Court also. This provision is done in the Indian Constitution. If you feels that your fundamental rights are violated by someone, then you can take the help, you can approach to the High Court and the Supreme Court. This is the beauty of the Indian Constitution. That is why much importance is given to this fundamental right of the Indian Constitution by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who is known as the father of Indian Constitution. My dear students, these six fundamental rights are there in the Indian Constitution. I hope that these fundamental rights are very much clear to you. Let me repeat these fundamental rights again. First one is known as right to equality. Second is right to freedom. Third one is known as right to freedom of religion. Fourth is right against exploitation. Fifth is known as cultural and educational right. And the last and the sixth one is known as right to constitutional remedies. My dear students, I hope the chapter is very much clear to you. In this chapter we had discussed what is constitution, why does a country needs a constitution, key features of the Indian Constitution and fundamental rights. This is the end of the chapter. My dear students, notes of this particular chapter will be sent to you through PDF. If any queries are there related to the chapter, you can leave a comment or you can ask queries. Thank you. Have a good day.